Hey everybody, it's Marcos and I'm back again with another video, and in this video we're going to be showing you how to create beautiful appliques and all the materials that you're going to need to create this beautiful thing. So get into it and keep on watching. The materials that you're going to be using to create these appliques are hot glue. It can be in any type of hot glue. You need a hot glue gun. You need some felt in the color that you're making your appliques, and also craft foam. A pair of scissors, glitter glue, matching color glitter, and you need some E6000 or some sort of strong bond glue. And you're going to be needing your choice of rhinestones and other stuff. You also need the beaded trim here. So just kind of collect and buy different type of stones that you're going to be using to create this beautiful applique. The appliques that I designed and that I put together, this is the bra and some arm pieces here, but these are the different appliques. I'm going to be showing you how to make this one right here. I have designed different ones and I already have my stencil cut out. This is craft foam from the hobby store, and you can get this really cheap for like 69 cents a sheet at the hobby place. Drawing something out, drawing out a shape, drawing out kind of how many stones you have to know how many appliques you can make. Okay, so technically today I'm going to be showing you how to make this teardrop applique. There's different types that you can make. Today we're going to be making this one. Okay, so I have this here, and this is a metal chain. And I have noticed that the hot glue, when it cools off, it doesn't really stick to the metal here. So what I've discovered is if I use the Gorilla Glue or E6000, I don't know what's going on with the stores, but E6000 is just completely like sold out everywhere. There's none to be found. So I've started to use this Gorilla Glue. And I'm just going to put this all around the edge of the inner circle, or inner teardrop, excuse me. Just like that. You don't need that much. And then I'm going to start putting the little trim around it. And I want to spread it out. I don't want it like side by side. And I'm making sure I'm placing it right on the edge. And that's one of the things that this type of adhesive lets you do, is that you can move around your stones and put them into place before it dries. But with hot glue, everything's just like dried in an instant, and that's technically it. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to just make sure I have enough. And then I'm going to cut this off with some scissors. I just kind of cut that off. And here we go. I'm going to make it pointy right there. And there you go. You have the base for your applique. I'm going to keep working. That way I can show you guys more. So I'm going to do that with the outside as well. And this one's a simpler applique. There's definitely more complex that I'm going to be making. But just so I can introduce y'all to a creative thing that you can do. And this will dry in 24 hours, or a little less, but I will leave it for 24 hours to dry. That way you're sure that everything is dried and not moving around like crazy. And also, you'll make sure that this metal chain is not moving anywhere, because that's what was happening. I was trying to hot glue it on, and it was just not it, girl. It was not it. It was coming undone. The chain was literally just kind of ripping off. It was not holding. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it right there. And then make sure I get my little pointy little effect here. There we go. And then just kind of move your stones around. Make sure your shape is good. I like how that's turning. And now we're going to be using different stones. I have some that I ordered off eBay that look like this. Or these came from AliExpress, I think. And they're like, I call them wannabe AB because these are not AB crystals. But they are sparkly. And they kind of have the little shiny effect like that. So we're going to be placing these, and you can use hot glue, but I'm going to use this one because I feel like I just don't like my stones to be moving around, and then like, because I'm gonna be dancing in this, so if I move a lot, technically my stones can peel off, and then yeah, it's easy to just be hot gluing them back, and I just don't want to be doing that too often. And I noticed that with this glue, it doesn't eat the back of the stones, and it doesn't make them like that crackled effect. So I kind of do like that about the stones. So I'm just gonna put little dots of glue here, evenly spread them out, and then I'm gonna start putting my stones right in the middle of that. Acrylic ones, and I'm gonna use the same glue. Again, you can use hot glue. I'm just choosing not to because I just hate how they just fall off sometimes. So, and in between every other stone, I'm gonna have a blue one. Let's take care of that. We're gonna put a blue, and that's just gonna add like a bigger sparkle. If you don't have access to rhinestones, or rhinestones are too expensive, you can use sequins. You can always find matching color sequins and use the sequins instead of the stones. It will give you the same effect on stage. It will give you a nice shine and sparkle, but I prefer using the materials that I have. Okay, so technically you can let this dry for maybe an hour to 30 minutes, and then you would come in with your glitter glue. This is also stuff that you can find at the hobby place. It's not that expensive. It's probably like $1 or $2. Don't quote me. I'll put all the prices of all the materials in the description bio down below. And let me start doing this without this even drying. So I might see if this will hold. Okay, this one's more of an easier applique to make. It's more simpler. I also have these ones that are kind of in the same family, but you can tell that they're a little different. This one has more of a center stone here and a teardrop. These are both also glitterified. You can tell the difference between this and that. I'm going to show you real quick on how I got those done and how what materials I used. I ended up using the glitter glue, just regular craft glitter glue, and I'm going to go ahead and fill in the little gaps in between the stones, trying not to get it on the stones. So I'm going to do that all around this piece. I'm going to get everything covered. So I finished covering all of the stones with glitter. I'm going to put a napkin here and use it to protect my surface area and to also help me collect the glitter. The glitter that I'll be using is these holographic blue glitter here. And I am going to be kind of generous with it. Make sure I get it all over. And the little tip that I do is I kind of push down where I put the glitter to make sure that the glitter kind of like sticks to it. And I don't want to be too rough because I don't want the glitter glue that is still wet kind of going all over the place and getting on the stones. So you just want to be gentle. I'm going to go ahead and shake this off and reveal my new applique. You see where the glitter kind of got all over the place? I'm going to want to clean that before it dries. Like on these stones right here that didn't need glitter, I'm going to go all around it and clean that so that way I can still get that sparkle, and also kind of wipe down the blue stones in here. That way they start and not lose their shine. And the glitter, while it's wet and it dries on it, it doesn't stick on it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because I can see that some of these stones are being covered and I don't want that. Okay, I was able to clean up a lot of the AB stones, that way they don't lose their sparkle. And I'm just going to let that dry overnight and it should be set. These are also ready to just be dried. They are blinging the house down, girl. Yes. Okay, so now that you're done with your glitter, you're gonna grab your napkin and then you're just gonna dump this back in here. That way you save glitter and you don't have a big mess on your table, on your working station later on. Glitterified and one that's not, you can see the difference between the glitter and no glitter. So I hope you guys can see. I hope the camera is picking that up because there's a much difference. And I mean, I do it personal for my preference and my likings. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There's different little appliques that I've been working on. So like again, okay, so I have this applique right here that was glued last night and it's dried now. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how I cut it and how we're going to make this more of a wearable applique. And it depends on what you're using it for. This step might not be as necessary for you guys, but it depends, like I said, what you're going to use it for. So I'm going to show you here real quick from an applique that I did last year.
And these appliques were like this. They were from here down. This is a leg piece that I did for last year's fantasy. And as you can see, the backing of all of this is with felt. I used black instead of purple. I thought it would look better. But this year I'm doing it a little bit different. So we have felt. So the appliques that I did on the front didn't need to be covered in the felt because I was going to felt the whole piece at the end. But if you're going to be using these like on your bra or on your head piece and stuff like that, stuff that's going to be touching your skin, you might want to felt the back. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And for that, I will be using the hot glue. So it's pretty simple, pretty easy. You just want to make sure you get your hot glue gun really hot. And you're just going to use a generous amount of hot glue. You want to make sure you kind of get the edges real good too, because that's kind of where it's going to mainly lift. So let's do that. I think that's a pretty good amount. You're going to grab your felt. And this is, again, you can get it at the hobby store for a very cheap, pure sheet. And just kind of tap it down there, maybe flip it over, and give it a nice little push. So now you're just going to let this dry for a little bit because it's hot glue. It dries kind of fast and instantly. You can now, after making that sure that it's all dry, you can cut out around the edges, and then you have a more softer feel, and you don't see that nasty foam that you have underneath. Okay, so I have my felt attached to it. This feels and looks much better. But you run with this problems with the felt kind of lifting up. Go ahead and apply a little bit more hot glue closer to the edge and squeeze it out. And you want to make sure that that's very covered because it just doesn't look pretty when it lifts up. And you also don't want, wherever you're using this, to it be seen that this is flapping. The flapping, you want to avoid that. And like you can see, I didn't cut it right towards the edge. I did that for a reason. And one is because I know that I'm always going to have to come back and retouch the edge of all my appliques. And also, the second reason why I leave a little bit of a gap is because even if I cut it really close to the edge, I'm still going to have a little bit of a leftover edge to it. And I'm going to show you a little tip on how I get rid of that edge that just kind of looks ugly, you know? So I just use a normal lighter. And what I'm going to do is start burning the edge of the felt to the foam. And with the end of the lighter, that way you don't burn yourself, you're kind of going to flick it up. And it almost creates a seal. And that's what you kind of want. You want a nice seal, and you know that this felt is not going anywhere. And the foam kind of melts into it as well. So you just kind of want to do that all the way around and kind of smush it flesh. So now you have a really nice sharp edge. The rhinestones are really popping out. And I'm going to do that towards all around this applique. It only takes a few seconds. I know that this looks like a lot of work. Trust me, it is a lot of work on the long run. But the small details to create these things make a difference, and it's going to help you look more sharper, more professional, cleaner, and things are just going to look more expensive. And that's the main goal here. Yes, materials are very expensive. Stones can be very expensive. It depends on the budget that you're going with. You can use simple stuff and cheap stuff from the hobby store, from the craft store. And it depends if you want to spend X amount of money. It just depends on the budget that you have. So I'm just going to finish off here so you guys can kind of see how these appliques look after you burn down the edge and you make them really nice and clean. It does make a difference. You can see the difference between this edge here and then the edge that is just sticking out. It looks much better. So like I said, I just kind of use the edge of my lighter to kind of flatten those down and make sure I'm not burning myself because it is really hot. You are using fire and this does melt. It's like a plastic and you will burn. I had a burn on my leg the other day from doing this, or even from the hot glue gun. Like if a little drop of hot glue gun with these bigger high temperature glue guns, they heat up so hot that they will burn you. So be careful when you're doing all this. Please don't go home, try this and then burn yourself. So here we go. Look at that. You can see that the edge is a little burnt, but it's not that noticeable at all. It looks really nice. I actually enjoy when it looks a little dark because they almost created that like closure, that film around it. So there you go. We have one that
like the leg piece that you guys saw, to even making this neck piece, that if you guys want me to make a video on how to make these, all of this is with a felt in the back. So these appliques didn't have to be felt, but you see how simple and easy it is to make something so gorgeous. Another idea of what I can show you guys to make are these like head pieces that I made, and you can see the appliques all over it. So yeah, if you guys want to see how to make beautiful costumings or different creation ideas, please like and subscribe my video. Keep on watching. Comment down below if you have any questions. I will be more than happy to answer them. I will try to put all the information and materials that I use in the link bio down below. So once again, thank you so much. Hugs and kisses. Bye.